Good evening. My name is Jason, and tonight I will be sharing with you a brief history on Disneyland, how it came to be, and what's hopefully going in the future. With me tonight is my husband, Francis, and my dog is in the back somewhere trying to be quiet, which is really hard for him to do. But anyway, let's get back to the speech. And of course, he barks. Sorry about that. So, how did Disneyland become what it is? Uh, Disneyland was an idea by animator Walt Disney, who became an animator at age 18. He started his own company, his own animation company with his older brother Roy in 1923, and together they ran this company pretty successfully, I guess, until 1926 when they decided to rename the company Walt Disney Studios after Walt because they decided that Walt was the face of the company. He was the innovator, the imagineer of the company, and Roy was just not just, but he was the financial guy. So in 19 in the 1930s, uh, while production was going on with the Walt's movies, he decided that he wanted a place for his employees and their families to enjoy quiet time away from work. And he saw across the street that there was 16 acres. He thought that would be a good place for a park, for just hanging out, having fun with the families. So Walt, being the imagination guy that he is, he knew he wanted to have a merry-go-round because he saw his daughters enjoy the merry-go-round at Griffith Park in LA. He thought, well, that's a good start. But then he added more and more and more things for the families to do together. And his ideas got bigger than 16 acres. So pretty soon he found 160 acres in Anaheim, and there was just orange groves. So he's we're building there. So he knew that he needed to find financing, and he went to the banks. They all said, no, we're not going to do this because it just doesn't make sense to us. But um, so Walt decided he's going to think outside the box. How else am I going to make this happen? So he sent Roy to New York to talk to the three television companies at the time because television is brand new at that time. Also, he talked to ABC, NBC, and CBS, and it was if you let us produce a show, you'll get part ownership of the park. NBC and CBS said no, we don't want any part of the park. We just want the show. ABC was like, well, we'll take both. So ABC was like, here you go. So a quote that I found from Mr. Disney in a book, in this book, sorry, Disney's Land by Richard Snow. He said, I could never convince the financiers that Disneyland was feasible, but dreams offer too little collateral. So that's why he approached the television companies. So opening day was 1955, July 17th, 1955. I do apologize. And it opened with only five lands: uh, Tomorrowland, Adventureland, Main Street USA, Frontierland, and Fantasyland. I always forget that one. I don't know why. So he opened with that, built a gigantic castle, which is only 77 feet tall. If you didn't know that, it looks massive, but it's not. So anyway, um, so opening day was televised by ABC. There was larger than expected crowd because I believe it's because Walt shared his vision of Disneyland with the public through his television series, Disneyland. So Since opening day. Oh wait, no, give me a second. So on opening day, I do apologize. Walt said, and I found this quote from Arius Travel on YouTube. To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. Here, age relives fond memories of the past, and here, youth may savor the challenge and promise of the future. Disneyland is dedicated to the ideals, the dreams, and the hard facts that have created America, with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world. And that's what Disneyland is. It's an inspiration for happiness. Um, so since opening day with only 5 lands, over the last 70 years, they've expanded, and it's huge. They've added New Orleans Square, which is where we now have Pirates of the Caribbean. That was added in the 60s. Bear Country, which is now Critter Country, which had Splash Mountain, which is now Tiana's Bayou Adventure, Mickey's Toontown, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and off property, but within the property, California Adventure was built on a parking lot, and Downtown Disney was also built on a parking lot. So I will leave you with just my thought. Disneyland has always been imagination and fantasy, not only for children, but also for adults for almost 70 years, and hopefully for many years to come. I hope that you enjoyed learning about a brief history of Disneyland, and from the concept to the actual building to what is now Disneyland that you see nowadays. And I'm going to actually leave you with this quote, also from Mr. Disney. I do apologize. He said, Disneyland will never be completed. It will continue to grow as long as there is imagination left in the world. And I found that quote on Famous Daily Quotes on YouTube. And with that, I do thank you and enjoy your night.